3, 4, 5, 6. Live from Basics Express Studios in New Jersey. We are here today to welcome our dear brothers from the Nigerian Social Club USA. Nigerian Club USA. Gentlemen, please, you are welcome to Basics Studios. May we know who you are and your mission today?
Thank you. I'm Dr. Rowland Ugwuala from New Jersey. We're here today to introduce the Nigerian Social Club of America. Nigerian Social Club of America is a non-profit social organization of friends from all walks of life and ethnicity, and we are here primarily to explain to our friends out there to understand some of the basic objectives of what our organization is all about. We strive to espouse certain ideals that we think that can help us in adjustment, in our new environment, and at the same time take advantage of it to see the best way we can empower our children to participate creatively in the economy, socio-economic environment, both here in America and in Nigeria. This organization draws its members from professionals to business leaders in our community, and it fosters friendship, and it also goes beyond working with members to the benefit of their families and friends on how best we can integrate and work together as a body.
So the Nigerian Social Club USA, we see that you have youth leadership engagement and other activities that you are focused on. Enlighten us a little bit on your focus on the area of youth leadership and then engagement.
This organization came to be about a year and a half ago, and we are planning our inauguration. And the theme of the inauguration is the Nigerian youth in diaspora as a resource to utilize in nation building. We understand that in today's, yes, the world is a village because of the information superhighway. But we have qualified personnel, especially our generation, our first and second generation of Nigerians in diaspora and counting. And the good thing is that they are eager to go back home to participate in nation building. And this is why we think that it's important to bring it out in the limelight for the Nigerian government and the policymakers to become aware that they do have a resource to utilize in nation building. And while we are not protectionists, we still believe that the Nigerian youth should be given a first position in the growth of our nation than the expatriates. Not that we don't agree with the use of expatriates, but our youths in America and other parts of the world are there and can fulfill that gap as well.
In that regard, as far as the youth empowerment is concerned, do you have any, you have the database of the youth of Nigeria that are in the diaspora? Are you developing such a database?
Like I said, this organization is just new, and we do have various committees, working in all aspects of what could enhance our ideals yes, our committee is that we formulated on this to look into the youth in diaspora. We collect and articulate the number of Nigerian youths, in diaspora. And secondly, we're planning to ensure that our kids become proactive and actively involved, in what we're doing, so that they can be counted.
So, do you have any network of these youths as they are coming out of high school or colleges, particularly colleges? Do you have any network that you are reaching out to those youths in those higher institutions of higher learning?
The good news is that in today's world, the kids are very versatile, very well informed. They are on their Facebooks, they are using the social media. This organization, we're trying to form the Nigerian Social Club Association. We're trying to form the Junior Nigerian Social Organization, Social Club of Nigeria, whereby our kids will get to know themselves and be able to interact with each other within in America and beyond, and especially with their counterparts in Nigeria as well. So I would say that the kids themselves, will have a role to do in making their presence felt, both here and at home.
So, Dr. Ugwuala, how do you intend to achieve the youth welfare program in this your organization?
That's a wonderful question. We are, as we speak right now, during our last meeting with the Federal Minister of Finance, we delivered a proposal to her, and requesting that she deliver this to the National Assembly. We want them to pass a legislation that will enable our children here to serve in the National Youth Service, the Nigerian Embassy, or any other groups that they could render their services, teach the language, the culture, and at the same time participate in exchange visits, organized between the government and the Nigerian organizations in diaspora. And at the same time, we also we call on the Federal Minister to deliver a letter, and then have them to create a participatory quota designed for our youths, so that when they finish and ready to go home, that there's a provision for them to be engaged both in the government and in other sectors of the economy. Just like the United Nations has asked all the governments in the world, especially in the developing countries, to create a participatory quota for the women in these areas. So we're also asking the government to create a participatory quota for our youth in diaspora, to encourage them to come home, to use the skills and the knowledge and the experiences they've gathered in this place, in America, in Europe, anywhere in the world, to be able to help in nation building.
Just a little follow-up. You mentioned something about trying to seek legislation for our youth in diaspora to serve at the National Youth Service, if I get it right. Has there been any precedence to such an activity? Do you know of anybody who had, any of our youths here who have gone home to do the National Youth Service?
You're talking to me right now. When I finished my education at the early stage, I went home and I served in the National Youth Service Corps before I could even get employment, to work in the system. And of course, as it stands, even our youths cannot go home and participate in political leadership, because it will be held against them that they did not serve in the National Youth Service. Therefore, we're saying that the government could create an attainable goals for the kids in their domicile residence, here or in Europe, whereby they could go and serve their nation. There are so many ways to serve the nation, you know, and if they could do that, they should be issued with the certificate of service, so that will empower them to go home and again, like we said, participate in nation building.
So, Dr. Ugwuala, does the Nigerian government know about your intentions?
Well, like I just said, you know, we're coming out with this proposal, and the first point of call was when we delivered a letter of, a proposal to the Federal Minister of Finance and the economic coordinating and the Federal Minister of Finance, Honorable Dr. Ngozi Ugwuala, through her visit here in New York at the interactive session at the Nigerian Consulate in New York.
So, to the best of your knowledge, what can the government do to that effect?
Well, the key thing is for them to understand the value to use our qualified youths in the diaspora than for them to stay here. I'll give you an example. When some of us came here in America in the first, at the first instance, we met a lot of Koreans, a lot of Indians, a lot of other nationals. In fact, the influx in which Nigerians trooped into the United States, the American government was a little bit scared about the type of revolution that could take place in Africa at the time. But the difference was that after our education, the Koreans went back, the Indians went back, the Nigerians of my generation did not go back. They stayed back because there was no platform for them to come home to. And therefore, it impacted our growth one way or the other. Look at Korea today. In the 70s and 80s, nobody thought of Korea owning an auto industry. But today, Korea is trying to compete with Japan and America with their Kia and the vehicles that they've introduced, into the market. So, how did they achieve this goal? They achieved this goal by tapping into the resources of their youths in diaspora, and they brought them home and make it possible for them to participate creatively into the economy.
So, do you intend to involve other organizations to get a stronger and louder voice?
Yes, this is our goal, because if I put it to you, there's an adage, they said that when united we fall and united we stand and divided we fall. So if the other diaspora organizations we come in sync with this laudable project, to work alongside with us, to understand that it's not about us, it's about our first, second, third and counting generations. We don't want them to at the same time suffer the fate, most of members of our generation suffer. There are a lot of qualified Nigerians today. If you go all over the world, doctors, lawyers, IT personnel, technocrats, pharmacists, business administrators, they are all over the world helping to build those nations. And our people are rather engrossed in hiring expatriates from other countries to provide services, And what do you expect? They don't have, most of these expatriates don't have the nation in their minds. They only are there for what they can get. But when our youths when our youths come home, they know that this is their nation, and then they have to build it for them to also enjoy, because together we fight to win, together we enjoy.
Well, just following up, I think we're going to focus on the Nigerian Social Club USA and the upcoming events. Let's digress a little bit and talk about who are you, and your profile as far as the Nigerian Social Club USA is concerned. Let us focus on that and tell our viewers who you are.
Thank you. My early education was here in the United States. I got my bachelor's degree in business administration, concentration in marketing, and I continued and went to University of Baltimore, and then went back home and served in the National Youth Service. In between, I went to University of Port Harcourt and also get a postgraduate degree in education, and then came back here in the US again and obtained my doctorate degree in political science. I work for the state of New Jersey, and at some point it dawned on us that something has to give. So I met with a group of my friends, namely Honorable Kalundukwe and Alhaji Lawal. And of course, this idea was also spoken to one of our other good friends called Dr. Bishoya Ario. We talked about how we can integrate our youths, our Nigerians, and help them to adjust, to participate in nation building. So we felt that the thing to do was to look for a venue or an avenue to do so. And then in course of that, we talked about introducing or forming this organization, the Nigerian Social Club. Now, when we came to that point, the question was, how are we going to achieve this goal? One of the things that came to mind was to have each member to bring those they feel they can sit down and eat with. In other words, people you think you know that have the same vision as the one we espoused, when we first thought about this organization. So in so doing, every member was encouraged to sponsor professionals and business leaders they know. And then from then on, this organization came into being in January 26, 2012. And a year after that, we thought that it was high time we debut, and then be able to tell the general public, our friends, and that Nigerian Social Club has come to be.
So, just a follow-up on the qualification. You've mentioned some of the members of your organization. What are the requirements or the qualifications or requirements for NSC USA membership? What are the qualifications that you look at there?
Well, I touched on it. I said that to start with, it's not limited to, but to start with, we said that among the foundation members, as at when this thought, originated, we felt that the best thing we could do to get started is to introduce or sponsor people we know based on their integrity and background, educationally, business-wise, to come on board to join us to form this organization. So membership is by sponsorship.
All right, so what are the core activities of this organization since you've been in existence for more than a year?
Wonderful. One of the things we do to accomplish our goal is through networking, collaboration, friendship, and family activities. In the last 2 years already going, we first of all we conducted a Valentine party for our wives, because without them all this effort will not happen. But don't forget now that our wives are equally members of this organization as well. So we do that to complement their efforts. We offer scholarship and also financial award to our graduating students to encourage them to reach a higher height, a greater height. So we organized the Nigerian National Day on October 1st to make members to remember that, to show our patriotism and the love for our nation. We also do organize the 4th of July to also appreciate our country, to appreciate America for all the wonderful things that they've been doing both to us and our children and our families back home as well. So we are very much actively involved in activities that will bring families and friends together. We also help members in times of need. For example, during the last Sandy that devastated the region, our members went out on their own, collectively and as individuals, to assist members and the community to dig them out from the Sandy, set up their generating set, and use their four-wheel vehicles to run errands, especially in the areas that need such help. So we've been actively involved so far in participating or becoming a success formula to our community.
As far as the kids, because you focused on the youth, tell us a little bit more about the kids that you've been talking about on this organization. What about the youth? Do you have, tell us a little bit more about the youth.
Well,
the kids.
You discover that we as parents too, we have kids. We start from there. We integrate our children to understand that first of all, they equally owe loyalty to Nigeria, and that we bring them together in all the activities we conduct. And right now, the kids are excited. They are thinking about forming a junior Nigerian Social Club of USA, and this is how, through that, of course, like I mentioned to you earlier, they have access to the social media. They can reach out to their fellow youths world over and let them know what they're doing, and then we will support them in any way necessary that we could.
The event you are holding this weekend, where is it being taking place at?
This event is taking place at La Bove Grande. It's a banquet hall in Lagos, and I want to remind you, Lagos has one of the largest naval air base in the area, so it's a very safe and conducive area where people will come and enjoy our rich culture, our music, and then be able to understand exactly what the Nigerian Social Club is all about.
So in 30 seconds, could you give us a precursor to what's about to happen this weekend, besides what you just talked about?
Could you repeat that, please?
In 30 seconds, could you just give us a summary of what's about to happen this weekend? In a nutshell.
The essence of this is to induct the original members into the organization, and then be able to let the world know that we exist and what we're all about.
Alright, sounds interesting enough. And what we'll do in the next segment of this interview, we are going to focus specifically on the events that is coming up this weekend, and we will be introducing one of your members who happen to be in the house today, and hopefully we will have a general discussion and see how we can push this thing forward. So you are welcome to our studio today, and we're very pleased to have you at the Basics studio. Thank you, gentlemen. Dr. Ugwuala, you are welcome.
Thank you so much.